I've spent more time in Hatcher Pass lately, specifically the Independence Mine State Historical Park area. The historical park covers 271 acres. First, we camped at Government Peak Campground, traveled up Palmer Fishhook, and arrived at the parking lot up at the mine. It's a $5 day use fee and well worth it. There's even a guided tour you can take for another $6. Everything is pretty interesting. All of the debris, after looking at the maps, you can easily figure out what everything used to be. This was the mill complex. All of the ore was brought down and gradually sorted and crushed. While we were standing here, a little pika came out, perched on the rubble. The pika are related to rabbits. They have no tails, and they're really stinking cute. Then we walked up a little further, heading up towards the mine shops. This is a little further up the trail. Tim is hiking ahead as usual, while I'm standing behind, trying to get my photographs. You continue up, you cross over a stream, a little bridge. Here's the rocks that you have to traverse. It's not too difficult a climb. Here's a view of the Palmer Valley with green falls hellebore and fireweed. Then we ventured off the trail, over to the southwest just a little bit. This view overlooks the mine and down towards the valley. We saw ptarmigan, specifically the white-tailed variety, and more pika, and some Arctic ground squirrels while we were here, along with a beautiful mossy stream. We even saw a marmot down at the mine. Nice big fat one. Over 10 pounds probably. Now it is berry season, the blueberries are ripe, and we know there are black bear in the area, so we did keep a watch for them. I have been chased by fox and yelled out by Arctic ground squirrels and stunk out by a mink, but I have never had a close bear encounter in Hatcher Pass. Just stay safe. The area where we were hiking was covered with moss and crowberries and also lots of partridge foot or alpine spirea. These ptarmigan were basically camped out among the alpine spirea. There are the little flowers you can see. Some of them are past their peak, some still have the little white blooms on them. Now, a movement caught my eye, barely. I thought it was another pika, but it was this whole group of ptarmigan, and I had to climb up to them. They eyed me for a while, weren't too sure, but I was able to get really close. They don't usually fly away, they're just really slow moving, they kind of totter around, and they choose spots where they blend in. You can hear them making little noises. They're not too loud, but they even chose to sit amongst rubble from the old mining buildings and encampments that were in the higher elevations, and they blended right in with these old boards. There was even an American pipit that popped out for an appearance. I sat watching the ptarmigan, another pika appeared, and some more ground squirrels because they are everywhere. They were all really busy. They had to get as much stuff in their dens as they possibly could, so they were constantly going in and out of their dens. I'm sure they have multiple entrances all over, but apparently we found a good one because they were using them more than any of their other entrances and exits. The pika don't hibernate. They have a low survival rate and they don't live very long. 3 years. So it's important to give them their space and let them continue doing their hang, as it's called. These pika were gathering little pieces of moss heather and crowberries and taking them, filling all the cracks in the boulders around their dens, taking them into their dens. They have to get as much insulation ready as possible. I do plan on coming back up here, snowshoeing or cross-country skiing back up, and seeing some of these pika, hopefully, out sunning on a warm winter day. If you notice the ptarmigan's legs, I call them little fur booties. They have hairs going all the way down to their toes there. They have them for a lot of insulation, since they like to really bed down into the snow. The ptarmigan do change colors, and they will become whiter as the snow starts falling. This was August 31st, and it was probably the last good day of the summer. So it was getting really cold as soon as the sun dipped down behind the peaks. Keep that in mind whenever you want to go anywhere in Alaska. As soon as the sun dips down, the temperature can drop quite a bit, even though I considered it fairly warm on this day. By the end of the day, I was wishing I had my gloves with me, especially as a camera operator. I had a great time though.